This race, ever since she won the Moonee Valley Oaks, she proved to us she could handle it and run the trip. And middle of year form hasn't been winning form, but it's been great form and much better than a few of the previous winners of the race.
Now, as we know, apart from outstanding ones like Dane Ripper, mares don't tend to win this race. Do you think there's a jinx about that?
Yeah, the mares do find it very hard to win, but even horses like Horlicks and Let's Elope, it took great horses like Superimpose and Poetic Prince to beat those horses. So the mares are still in there. The very top ones are.
So you're confident, and who do you see as your great dangers?
Well, you have to like the two proven weight for age horses, Tie the Knot and Indigaze, and Reduce's Choice looks like he could be anything. So 48.5 kilos on his back. If he can run a trip, he's probably the hardest to beat.
It's a tough competition out there.
It is a big great race.
Okay, Steve McKee, co-trainer of Sunline, and we'll be back after this break with more from the Great Moonee Valley and Cox Plate Day.
Well, there they are, the horses going into line for race 4 at Canterbury, the second leg of the extra double, the Burwood RSL Club Superfecta. And here are the totes. Number 1, Deep Moss at $10. Roy O'Roy is a scratching. Briannon at $5. Lively Lad at $10. Centre Century $14. Splendid Retreat, one of the world back runners, at $6.40. Riverdale $19. Exploding Success $14. Over the page we go to TAB number 9. Chandru well backed at $7.30. Excalibur is a late scratching, or was this morning, or halfway through the morning I should say. Arabian Joy at $20. Burdekin Lad at $19. Sunhaze is a scratching. Zanetta has been very well back, $10 into $6.70. Fortune Favours at $27 and Stand Firm at $102. Mastery is a scratching. Incidentally, the track here at Moonee Valley has been upgraded from dead to good, so that's great news, and that's the way the track is playing, particularly when you saw that second winner from the Paul Perry stable, Nebjan, run 58 seconds. Okay, looks like they're all in line at Canterbury. Let's go to our caller, Terry Bailey.
Rain continuing to come down here. There's Good Money Zanetta on the tote and a tip around Late Exploding Success. Stablemate, or rather in the same colours, raced by John Thompson, that was carried by Diet Tribe to victory at Moonee Valley in the previous. Now they're all set. Burdigan Lad has moved in. Splendid Retreat, well on the betting, has drawn the outside gate. No luck last time here at Canterbury. They're racing. Centre Century in the centre was a bit slow to go, and Zanetta about 4 out with the red cap first to begin. Arabian Joy on the fence away well. Briannon being ridden forward today, and also Riverdale coming across. Splendid Retreat wide. Lively Lad is 6 from Deep Moss the Grey. Chandru. They were followed by Exploding Success going up in front of Chandru with Burdigan Lad. Centre Century getting well back with Fortune Favours, and Stand Firm went out to last. On the turn out of the straight at the 1500, and Zanetta, who's been well back, leads the way. 3/4 on Riverdale. Briannon 3 wide. Arabian Joy 4th, and back the fence Exploding Success. They were followed out wide on the track by Burdigan Lad. Splendid Retreat. Good piece of riding there by Young Newman. He's 1 out. A length to the grey, then Deep Moss. They were followed by Lively Lad. Chandru the fence. 3/4 away, Fortune Favours. 2 lengths to Centre Century, and Stand Firm last. Down the back in search of the 1,000 metres mark, and Zanetta made play. Leading a long neck on, moving up Riverdale, and out wide Briannon. 2 lengths to Burdigan Lad. 3 wide around Arabian Joy, and Exploding Success 6 the fence. 3/4 to Splendid Retreat. 2.5 Deep Moss. Fortune Favours wide. Lively Lad in the centre. Chandru 8 or 9 off the lead, third last and being heeled along. 2 lengths to Centre Century, and Stand Firm the last one. These 2 leaders are carving out pretty good time coming off the back. It's Briannon moving up to put the pressure on Zanetta. A length and 3/4 away is Riverdale. Arabian Joy wide going forward quickly. Burdigan Lad was next from Exploding Success. Splendid Retreats run into a dead end in between runners from Deep Moss, and a good gap to Chandru as they turn the bend. Zanetta in front of Briannon. A length away Arabian Joy. Riverdale. Splendid Retreat needs a run to the outside. Burdigan Lad and Exploding Success on the fence. It's still the front runner. Zanetta clear from Briannon, who can find no more. 2 lengths Burdigan Lad. Arabian Joy, but Zanetta in front, kept going by Marshall. At the 50 metres mark is going to land a string of good bets, and Zanetta streaking away. Wins by nearly 4 lengths on the line to Burdigan Lad and Briannon. Then Exploding Success, Arabian Joy. Splendid Retreat didn't go on with Deep Moss and Chandru. Stand Firm well back with Riverdale. They were followed by Lively Lad, Fortune Favours, and Centre Century out of form last.
I believe early shoppers at Canterbury got double-figure odds, that horse, but it steamed to the line. A clear winner, Zanetta, from the Gay Waterhouse stable. In second place at the moment is Briannon, but coming down the outside is Burdekin Lad, and you'll see that Burdekin Lad, ridden by Paul Falvey, gets up and noses Briannon out of second spot. No doubt about the winner, number 14, Zanetta, number 12, Burdekin Lad was second, and number 3, Briannon third. $5.80 and $2.10 for the winner, $5.30 for Burdekin Lad, and $2 exactly for Briannon. Time now for a break, and as we take this break, we'll show you how you can go to the Melbourne Cup, courtesy of Crown Casino.
To celebrate its $1 million Cup draw, Crown Casino is giving you the chance to be trackside at this year's Melbourne Cup. The prize package includes airfares for two from your nearest capital city, 2 nights accommodation and dining at Crown Towers, 2 tickets to Monday's Call of the Card at Crown Casino, and 2 tickets to the Crown Marquee on Melbourne Cup Day. There are 3 packages to be won. To register, simply phone this number, 1902 554 648. You can enter as many times as you like. Entries close at 4 p.m. today. The winner will be announced later this afternoon.
Welcome back to Moonee Valley, Cox Plate Day, and you're seeing this magnificent 18-carat gold cup that I'm holding here. It was won by the one and only Phar Lap, the great horse, the people's horse. It was won in 1931. Of course, on my lapel I have a very, very small Cox Plate, and that's what now the horses win when they win this great race. But this is a magnificent piece. Phar Lap, of course, 37 wins from 51 starts. It put a smile on people's faces during the Great Depression, and this trophy is going to be auctioned off on November the 8th. And they expect to reach, Sotheby's is doing the auction, and they expect to get between $100,000 and $150,000. The grandchildren of the owner, David Davis, have given it to Sotheby's to auction, and we've had a Brownlow medal go under the hammer recently here in Melbourne, so it'll be interesting to see what this goes for, but $150,000 they're thinking. The 1931 WS Cox Plate 18-carat gold, won by the great horse Phar Lap. Simon.
Good to get Pete out of the BMW tent anyway.
I'll go your halves and we'll bid for it.
Oh, well, you'll need another shareholder, mate. I haven't got that much, I can assure you. OK, coming up is the Swept Stakes. Group 2 over 1,000 metres. Used to be the A.J. Moyer Stakes. It was formerly called that. And number 1 is Flavour.
Yeah, Flavour, he's a great old campaigner. He always looks ready for the race. Very significant point. He's had 7 starts at Moonee Valley for 3 wins and 3 placings. He actually won the 2-year-old race here on Cox Plate Day 4 years ago. And have a look at him. He's just a great ready-made racehorse.
He certainly is. Number 2 is Paint from the Matthew Elton stable. And Darren, you're down in the yard. How's Paint look?
He looks exceptionally good. He's parading right down here in front of me, and he looks in fine order, and his last start second was a beauty, and his start before that was a brilliant win at Moonee Valley here. He is a Moonee Valley specialist.
Well, he's a 6-year-old, and so is the next one, Darren Checkmore. He's a bit of an old hand at Moonee Valley.
Yeah, he is. He's had, 15 starts here, and he looks well, the old horse, but whether he just might be a little bit outclassed, but the trainer's Jim Marconi's got him looking in fine order.
A pretty smart master here in Brian Cox from Wodonga has number 4, Ken, pick-up line.
Yeah, he won 3 in a row before blundering at the last start at Caulfield. He was just on the toe a little, I noticed a few moments ago, but he's settled again now and looks well in the coat, and he's ready to race.
And Dantelar, disappointing last start, Ken. Would you expect a bolder showing from her today?
I was very disappointed with her run. How does she look, Darren?
Yeah, she looks well. Paul Perry said the track the other day never really suited her. She just didn't really think that, she got round Caulfield. But even though she'd won back there, she won the Oakley Plate. But today she looks very, very fit.
Magic Music absolutely sizzled at Caulfield in the Churnside last start. Darren, she looked well today?
She does. She looks well. She's drawn out a little bit wide today. She's probably not going to get across. They're going to make her work a little bit harder from a wide gate. But I think she's improved since last start. And
Ken, the 3-year-old, the winner of the Ascot Vale, Spargo.
Yeah, he's by Rory's Jester. He caused a surprise in the Ascot Vale. Have a look at him. He's a nice horse. Most of the Rory's Jesters are. Typical colt, and last start he went 1,400 metres. That was just too far for him. This is more his cup of tea.
And Darren, number 9 is Northeast Sheila, and she can sizzle on a day.
Yeah, she's a very, very fast little filly. She's only got 49.5 on her back. Around the enclosure here, she's just starting to get on her toes a little bit. She's a little bit keen. Be interesting to see how she parades before them when she gets out in front of the big crowd. But she'll certainly show them a clean pair of heels in this race.
Well, there's the 8 runners for the Swept Stakes at Group 2 level, over 1,000 metres. Let's check an update on the tote.
Yeah, and Flavour just walked past me by, gee, nothing had upset him. He just wandered out on his own. Flavour, $4.40, Paint, $7.20, Checkmore at $27, Pickup Line, $9.90, Dantalar into $5.90, $4.10 for Magic Music. I think she can win again. Spargo at $6.50, Cullen is a scratching. TAB number 9 is Northeast Sheila. She's at $9.30.
OK, let's have a look at the tips for the Swept Stakes. Kenny's gone with Magic Music to scoot around this tight Moonee Valley circuit. Darren's with him. I'm going to give Dantalar another chance. And Simon Marshall, he likes Flavour for the Swept Stakes. Let's see if John Hawkes likes Flavour as much as Simon Marshall does.
Flavour in the Swept Stakes. What did you make of his run last start?
Yeah, excellent, Darren. He's not really a genuine 1,000-metre horse. I mean, they ran hard and they kept running. Today, perhaps Moonee Valley's a little bit different because he does love the valley and it's a tighter circle track, so the front ones find it a little bit harder to get away. But he'll be running on real strong at the finish, but just a matter whether he's given too big a start over the 1,000. But he's a real racehorse.
His sectionals were probably the best in the race last start, so but how did he pull up after it?
Yeah, he's fine. He's done terrific, and he always runs great sectionals because he's always coming from the back. So, and when you're at the back, it always makes it very hard to win when you're giving horses up the front, you know, 5 or 6 or 7 lengths start. But being the racehorse he is, I'm sure he hit the line very well.
Good. Thanks very much, John.
Thanks, Darren.
Well, John Hawkes, he's confident that Flavour will hit the line very well. I wonder how our celebs in the betting ring are hitting the line at the moment. Ralph, can you update us, please?
Well, Simon, the professional punters are well on top. Diatribe, Cabenja, Miss Penny Money, they've all been very heavily backed. As for the amateur punters, David Schwartz, Dermot Brereton, not so good. Schwarter, what can we do here?
Well, we're getting out on Moe at the moment. We'll give up on Melbourne, but look, we'll try and get Dantalar home, number 5.
OK, number 5, what are we going to have on that?
I think we've got $30 to win, and we'll have a bit of a Quinella on 5, 7 and 9 for $10.
Good as gold. Dantalar there. The Cassidy-Perry combination, which was successful earlier in the day on Cabenja. Big Derm. I think your wife is in front, but are you in front?
She's had a good win, the wife, but I've resisted the Omen bet for this race. I was going to put Pickup Line and Northeast Sheila together. I'll just go $20 each way on Northeast Sheila, and I've box trifecta number 2 Paint, 5 Dantalar, 7 Spargo and 9 Northeast Sheila.
OK, down here in the betting ring, Magic Music, second favourite behind Dantalar. Dantalar isn't favourite on the tote, I can tell you it is favourite down here in the ring. Further out to Flavour and Spargo. There's only one horse unwanted in the betting, and that's Checkmore, and it's got a terrific record here at Moonee Valley. After the break, the Group 2 Swept Stakes. This is live on Wide World of Sports.
Ladies and gentlemen,
here's the presentation for the Amy Vars over 2,040 metres. That's George Hanlon in front. He's having a fair bit to say. He's a happy man too.
And holding the trophy is the owner, John Thompson, and just patting George on the back is Brian Keane, the CEO of Amy. OK, they're behind the line, Simon.
It's been run and won. The Amy Vars were up to the Swept Stakes. Let's check on the totes.
Number 1, Flavour at $4.60, just easing a little now. Paint solid at $7.10. Checkmore $30. Pickup Line $10. Dantalar $5.60. Magic Music very solid at $4.20. Spargo at $6.30. Cullen is a scratching. Let's have a look at Northeast Sheila over the page. She is at $9.10. Simon Marshall is over at the start. Simon, these sprinters ready to fly.
Yeah, this is the dash for cash for sure, Kenny, and fortunate enough to be walking around with a 3-year-old Spargo here, and he's primed. Don't bite the pony, mate. Yeah, he's primed. Greggy Hall's in great form. It looks fantastic, this colt too, and he'll run super today. Flavour could not fold him. He's primed to run the 1,000 metres here. He'll get back, of course, and he'll dash home. Paint loves the valley. He's spot on. He's a grey horse, but geez, you can get a good guide out of him because he's a lovely athletic type and there's plenty of body on him. Paint spot on too. Number 4, Pickup pick-up line, it is spot on. He's been trained for this race, I know. A little disappointing last start, but just forget that run. He is spot on today. He's a great chance. Dandelion also looks great from her last start outing at Caulfield, the 5. Magic Music's primed. She's a big, strong, athletic girl. She is absolutely perfect. So this is the Dash for Cash, Kenny. We've got a primed bunch of sprinters here, and it's going to be a ripping race.
Yeah, first in the line there is Pickup Line, Larry Cassidy's mount. The movers, Magic Music, 410 to 430. Flavour, 430 to 480. Dandelion is in from $6 to $5.10. Spargo from $6.60 to $5.90. Paint, another firmer, $7.60 to $7. And Northeast Sheila, very solid, $9.30 to $9.40. All right, they're going into line. If you're looking for Magic Music, she races in green with red tartan cross sashes, red sleeves and a tartan cap. There is TAB number 1, Flavour, who of course is owned by the Ingham brothers and races in their very familiar All Cerise. The grey filly that just went by was of course Dandelion in the background, and number 6 is the one we just spoke of, Magic Music, with the cross sashes there. Magic Music is very, very fast 6-year-old mare. She's had 23 starts, she's won 10 of them, and she really bolted in the Churnside Stakes just a fortnight ago at Caulfield. She's going to take some catching again, Simon.
Yes, she certainly will, particularly around this little tight circuit. If she can get her own way, she's going to be particularly hard to run down, I'm sure. I'm sticking with Dandelion. I really like the way she looked on the way past, and she's behaved herself well over behind the gates.
Right, Magic Music takes the outside barrier. Here's Greg Miles.
Right, Ken, they're all in, they're ready to run. Off at the 1,000 metres and over near the outside, one nearly fell. It might have been Dandelion, I'm not sure. Spargo was out there as well. Flavour dropped out a clear last, and Magic Music flew out of the gates and settled in front. Going quickly to second, Northeast Sheila on the outside of Checkmore. Pick-up line handy to them on the inside, and Painters wide. 2 to 3 lengths to Spargo, followed by Dandelion and Flavour. Through the gap on the flying Magic Music leads Northeast Sheila by 3/4. 2 lengths further back in the field. Paint getting up to third around Checkmore and Pick-up line. 1.5 lengths to Spargo, 2 to Dandelion, well back and Flavour as they corner. Magic Music in front, slipped away a little on Northeast Sheila, Paint, and then Spargo in the yellow blinkers. Magic Music for Damien leads by 2 around the home turn. Paint getting to second from Northeast Sheila, and then Spargo on the outside. Magic Music 100 out, 2 lengths in front, holds Paint at bay, and then Spargo and Magic Music barrier to box. Magic Music wins it by 1.5 lengths to Paint. Spargo a big run third. Then Pick-up line Dandelion, Northeast Sheila, followed by Flavour, who was well back all the way, and Checkmore dropped out to last.
Well, can she go? Has she got speed or what? And Magic Music, number 6, $4.50 and $1.70. Number 2, Paint, $2 exactly. Number 7, Spargo, $2.10. Barrier to post, she just outsped them, crossed from her outside barrier, and it was Goodnight Nurse. Let's have a look at the replay of the start, and there's just a problem there, and it looks like Flavour was checked straight out of it behind Dandelion.
Nearly fell there.
Dandelion was the grey, and Flavour outside of her.
I'm speaking through my pocket.
In the Cerise. Okay, here is a close-up of Magic Music going to the line. Damien Oliver had a look over his shoulder. Where have you got to, fellas? Well, they weren't close enough to worry him, and Paint, who was closest, was beaten rather comfortably. And the race time was 57.5. This track is now on fire. Okay, let's stop them. Here is Magic Music out in front, and at this stage she had the race well won. There's Northeast Sheila, she couldn't go on. The grey is Paint, and coming down the outside is the Spargo, the 3-year-old, who finished in third place. And here, Paint sort of got into second, perhaps 1 3/4 lengths, 2 lengths behind Northeast Sheila. But now Damien Oliver puts his foot on the floor, and they never got any closer. And Magic Music goes on to win by pretty convincing 1.5 lengths from Paint. Simon Marshall, another one for Damien.
Yes, another one for the D. Oliver mate, and Dame, she is very quick and very smart.
She's a flying machine, Simon. I don't think I've ridden a quicker horse out of the barriers.
Yes, there's plenty of it too, Damien. She gave you a great field turning for home. She was never going to get beat.
No, she was travelling pretty good. She was running out of gas a little bit on the line, but nothing can keep up with her, Simon. She runs off her legs.
Reminds you a little bit of the Skull Arch?
She's not quite up to that class, but I think she's probably a little bit quicker than him out of the gates.
Great for Johnny Sadler too, and we must give Leon Corsons a mention, who did have this mare.
Yeah, John's done a good job since he's taken over, and I'm sure Leon would have gave him a lot of advice about this mare, and son Troy Corsons too has done a good job.
More confidence for Sky Heights in the plate?
Oh, well, we'll see how we go.
Good on you, Dame. We'll expect to see you back here later through the day. Boys, back to you on course.
Yeah, thank you very much, Simon. And Damien Oliver, Magic Music. Well, it was just nothing much more to say about the sweepstakes. She was too fast and too good, and trained by John Sadler. Simon O'Donoghue, who was thinking of giving it away.
Yeah, thinking of giving it away. He's just won the Geelong Cup during the week. He's done it again here today. Labille, of course, he took that over from Leon Corsons, ran second in the Caulfield Cup. So he's absolutely on fire, Johnny Sadler, but still standing firm that when Leon comes back, he's off. He's going to have a break.
Okay, as Magic Music comes back, we talk about a break. Let's have one on the wide world of sports.
There she is, on the rail with the pacifiers on, and no one could get near a Paint. Paint trying hard, the grey on the outside, but Damien Oliver has a look over the shoulder. It's all over Red Rover.
Yeah, it is all over, and another winner to Dio, Damien Oliver. Number 6, Magic Music, $4.50 and $1.70. Number 2, Paint, $2. Number 7, Spargo, $2.10. The Quinella, $11.10. And the trifecta on 6, 2 and 7 paid $159.60.
Well, the Cox Plate is only a couple of races away, Ken, and here we are with a tote update.
Yeah, and you'll be surprised with a few of these prices, particularly Sunline. Tie the Knot at $5.80. Intergaze, $10. That's good odds. Northern Drake is a scratching. The Message, $41. Make No Mistake, $13. Sky Heights, $9.70. Lahar, $44. Sunline, $4.10. Over the page to win a Flurry, $6.60. Reduced Choice, $7.40. Testarossa at $9.70. And Commands, TAB number 12 at $22.
Gee, the market's telling us there's plenty of chances, isn't it?
And the fact that leaders are winning has got punters thinking Sunline.
What are you thinking upstairs there, Pete? I'm glad to get you out of the BMW tent and back thinking straight again.
Thank you, Simon. I'm thinking Reduced Choice at this point, if anyone's interested.
No, not really.
Thank you, mate. Well, as we count down, of course, to the start of today's Cox Plate, there'll be plenty of punters who'll find it hard to leave Intergaze out of their considerations. Unlike many of his rivals, as a yearling, he fetched less than a handsome price. But since then, the pride of Rob Craig's small stable at Warwick Farm has been returning the sort of dividends that would turn Telstra investors green with envy. Michael Maher turned his gaze to one of the top Sydney chances in today's big race.
He's a funny horse, but Michael, he works by himself. Like, you know, it's just a canter, you know. But when he's got a mate, he gives you something to chase. That's when he's sort of at his best, you know.
Just a little bit competitive.
Yeah. He never gets his rugs dirty, you know. He sort of does all his droppings in one corner of the box. Nothing seems to worry him.
But he's a neat Nick, is he?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. He's like a gentleman, I think, you know. He's
a gentleman horse.
Yeah.
Rod Craig is entitled to think Intergaze a gentleman. The brave chestnut has won him 7 Group 1 races and well over $3 million. If Craig waxes lyrical about the horse's manners, so does jockey Craig Carmody.
She's got the best nature in the world, you know. If you could, they talk about cloning and things like that, but if it could be done, he'd make the perfect model for a racehorse because he's just got a wonderful attitude, beautiful temperament, and the acceleration and ability to match it all.
Rod said he's a gentleman.
Oh, I mean, you could put a 5-year-old kid on him and he'd go out and do the same thing, you know. You could trust him with their lives.
15 years ago, Carmody was apprenticed to Craig. There were good horses, but both struggled and looked to the day they'd find one together. With little in the bank, Craig found Intergaze in a paddock for $15,000.
It was great for him to find this horse, and the associations just blossomed into something very special. And the horse has just taken us both on this terrific spiral upwards. He's fantastic.
But it is Intergaze clear with 100 to go. Lahage trying hard in second spot. Well, he might have got beaten by Might and Power last year, but he'll make up for it today. Intergaze, and he went home to win the Cup from Lahage.
This time last year, the career of the model horse looked to have ended prematurely. After a track trial came every trainer's worst nightmare. The horse bled from one nostril. Intergaze was off to stud. But when the lung scan showed no damage, and with few mares in sight, the stallion was back after a nice long rest.
She's coming after Intergaze with 50 to run. Intergaze in front. Bonanova can't pick him up. Mr. Consistency, too good.
He just really come back with a vengeance, you know, and I think that was the essence to it, that he'd had that break and whatever little niggling problems he had, he's just overcome it.
Since he's been back, the horse has plundered 4 Group 1s and prize money of more than $1.8 million. Before that break, Intergaze had won just 3 Group 1s. The Champagne Stakes as a 2-year-old, Canterbury Guineas as a 3-year-old, and the Queen Elizabeth Stakes of 1997, the final race in the illustrious career of Octagonal. How could you love the horse who reigned on Ocky's parade?
The 3-year-old Intergaze has burst clear 100 metres out. The Big O can't do any better, try as he may. Intergaze has spoiled the party. A brilliant ride by Carmody.
My daughter got married that day and I was really happy. I was at the wedding, actually. It was a great thrill to win the race, but I could just imagine what was going to happen at the races. So.
You didn't want to be there to pick up the prize.
No, I think I took the right way out.
Octagonal is well and truly retired and producing foals. And the daughter who was married that day, Nicole, has produced a son, Jake, who's wearing the Intergaze colours and attending the presentations. But beating Octagonal meant Intergaze was branded Giant Killer, a tag he's had a hard time shaking off. In the Chelmsford 3 starts ago, he wasn't supposed to beat Tie the Knot. Maybe Intergaze knows a lot more than we think.
If you see his attitude race day when he's walking around the enclosure and going to the barriers, and the change in acceleration from his track gallops to what he does on race day, mate, he's just a completely different horse. You know, he just switches right on and he knows exactly what he's got to do.
As Intergaze won the Doomben Cup, and before that the Queen Elizabeth for the 2nd time, a trainer had the time of his life, but wondered what it would take to become more than just a giant killer.
The Giant Killer tag they've given him doesn't really fit him because, you know, he's been one of the giants all along. And when you say Giant Killer, I think it keeps on meaning you've got to knock over the giants, you know. Well, he's doing it all the time, but he should be recognised for what he is. You know?
When Intergaze visited Caulfield last month for the Underwood Stakes, Craig was intent on showing the public once and for all that this horse is a champion in his own right. Unlucky Melbourne seconds in the Australian Cup and Caulfield Guineas had to be addressed.
But Intergaze is racing clear. The Sydney side is 3 clear from Sky Heights and the Message, and Intergaze magnificently.
He's earned his tag, I think, but he's also earned the right to be received like he was the other day at the races. That was wonderful. That was probably better than the win to see people clapping and cheering him, you know, the way they did. So it meant a lot to me and a lot to Craig and certainly the owners. So.
It's been a great 3 or 4 years, and we just, while the horse keeps winning, our friendship gets thicker and thicker because we get to enjoy better times. But it was very humble beginnings, so it's been a marvellous day.
The fashion of the day now includes Giant Killer hats, worn proudly by owners Hugh Hilly and Billy Manicus. At times like these, you're allowed to be politically incorrect.
Well, the wife can move out. I'll put it in the spa.
He gets as much porridge as he wants to eat tomorrow, I'll tell you.
It may only be in its infancy, but an Intergaze fan club is on the way.
I did my shirt last night because I knew he'd be here in Melbourne. I haven't seen him for a while in Melbourne. This is the first time he's been down. It's good to see him.
Intergaze and Tie the Knot both running a little wide round the home turn. Hero Smith in the clear.
After a break of 3 weeks, Intergaze